What's going on, everyone? So I did a video last night diving into Jovan Buha as well as Tim's kind of just breakdown and aggregation of just the rotation as well as the minutes. Right? And just to quickly run through it, the starting five, according to them, is DeAndre Ayton, LeBron James, Marcus Smart, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic. Right? The minutes are 29 minutes for DeAndre Ayton, 33 minutes for LeBron James, 28 minutes for Marcus Smart, 35 minutes for Austin Reeves, and 36 minutes for Luka Doncic. The bench is Rui Hachimura at 26 minutes, Jake LaRavia at 16 minutes, Gabe Vincent at 15 minutes, Jared Vanderbilt at 12 minutes, and Jackson Hayes at 10 minutes. Right? So, sounds about right. Mix and match the starting unit however you want. I talked about and did a whole breakdown on it. Go check out that video after this one, of course. But, you look at this 10-man rotation. It sounds about right. But it's missing 4 guys. Right? You're missing Maxi Kleber, Adu Thero, Bronny James, and you're missing Dalton Knecht. So, according to this, right, which, in all honesty, this sounds right. This isn't like one of those things like, wow, they're really playing Jake LaRavia over. No, this is more likely than not going to be the 10-man rotation for the majority of the regular season. Yes, Bronny will get spot minutes here and there. Adu Thero will get minutes here and there. Maxi Kleber will get minutes here and there. But this is about as accurate as you're going to get. Right? Maybe varying minutes and stuff. Sure. Like night to night, a guy gets the night off, so on and so forth. Sure. But your rotation is this, and especially come playoff time, it's probably either the same or you're cutting 2 guys like Gabe Vincent or something like that and Jake LaRavia, whatever, right? So no matter how you slice it here, this seems about right? But Bronny James, okay, fine, right? Like, I think he'll get some spot minutes, but he's still growing. He's still developing. He's still very young. I hope he does get some minutes. I hope he's not like entirely out of the rotation because I want to see what can he do at the NBA level. Looked really good in Summer League. Maxi Kleber, okay, fine, right? You kind of want him in key spots, like when you're trying to run certain actions or certain matchups and stuff like that. Sure, Adu Thero, he's a big unknown, right? He's the question mark, right? The offensive side of things are probably going to be a little shaky as a rookie, but defensively, he should be somebody really good. You also got to take into account that this doesn't count like guys that emerge in training camp and stuff like that, right? Maybe Adu Thero is just that good in training camp, and it's like, hey, like maybe we need to reevaluate this, look at this in a different light, right? Like, so still a lot of things, a lot of factors that can go into play into this rotation and whatnot. But Dalton Knecht specifically, I don't think he's going to be in the rotation either. I've talked about this in the past. He was terrible in Summer League, right? Like he looked, I don't know, checked out, didn't want to be there. I saw people that were like, oh, he just doesn't want to be there. Like, but that's even worse, right? Like you're in your second year, you're trying to prove yourself. You fell out of the rotation last year because of your inconsistencies and stuff. And instead of going into Summer League, balling out and dominating, right? Like assuming that, because again, I got a lot of comments from people that were like, oh, he just isn't interested. He's not there. That's even worse, right? You're better off making the argument that he just had a bad Summer League rather than like he was checked out because he didn't want to be there. It's like, he should have that mentality. Hey, this is my opportunity. I need to show that I'm better than all these guys because that might actually get me minutes in the rotation, not look like you're the worst player out there, right? Like he struggled. And there were already reports that have came out. There's already that conversation and narrative going around of like, hey, Dalton Knecht's value has dropped tremendously. So, after a poor Summer League performance, and then if Dalton Knecht is out of the rotation again, or he's just kind of getting spot minutes here and there, that's not going to raise his value. Right? That's not going to all of a sudden make him a more valuable player that teams are going to be like, oh, yeah, let's just go, in the 3 minutes a night he's playing or in garbage time that he's playing. Not just that, but I think if that happens, you're going to have Dalton Knecht more and more checked out. You're going to have him, we already saw him frustrated and pouting and just in his feels last year, right, after he got traded, which, in all honesty, like, rightfully so, I get it. Like, I don't want to, like, beat up on the kid because it's hard. That's hard for anybody to deal with, let alone a rookie coming in that's excited. He's a Laker, right? It's a tough spot to be in. And as much as we all want him to like suck it up and, be a man and play basketball, right? Like not everyone's built that way. Not everyone can mentally just digest it and go, hey, it is what it is. I'm here. Let me ball out, right? I'm just going to hoop, right? Like not everyone has that mentality. Not everyone can get over kind of that situation, right? So my problem is that like we've seen him, he just hasn't been the same since that trade. And now if he's completely out of the rotation from the jump, I mean, he's probably going to be completely checked out. And at that point, right, like what's the benefit of keeping him at that point? You might as well trade him right now because a team right now might look at it and go, okay, let's make this like we can get him in a training camp, kind of see, evaluate, right? Like his value's probably not as high right now as it was when he was dropping 30, almost 40 on teams, right? But his value is probably higher than it's going to be, right? It's like if you had inside information on a stock and you know that a stock is going to tank, right? But you don't know where it's going to kind of level out, but you know it's going to drop. Right? Wouldn't you get out before that drop? Right? Like, wouldn't you want to get out? Like, if I have a stock at $100 and I know it's going to drop at least, to 80, 90, right? Wouldn't I want to get out at 100, and then try to make as much money, buy back in on a lower rate in that analogy with another player, a new player, right? Like, that's kind of how I look at it. Like, I don't think Dalton Knecht is going to be an appreciating asset, right? I don't think as the season progresses, Dalton Knecht's going to gain more and more value, right? Now, look, maybe because there is a version of this where he's really good in training camp, he's torching everybody, and JJ Redick finds a way to get him 15 minutes a night, and he's giving you, 12 points a night. He's knocking down like 3 or 4 threes a night on average, right? He's just kind of the designated 3-point shooter, and he's just in fuego. And maybe you kind of get that early season run last year. Maybe you get that from him this year. But you don't think Dalton Knecht this entire season, you don't think he's going to be thinking to himself, like, is today the day I get traded? Especially if he does start balling out, right? Like imagine he goes in and opening night, he drops 30. Is he even going to celebrate that? Is he even going to be like, dude, I just dropped another 30-piece opening night, let's go? Or is he kind of thinking like, I think I just got myself traded, right? Or like he goes on a crazy run, right? He goes and drops, he has 5 straight games with 20 plus. Right? Like, does he look at it and go like, man, I'm torching this league. Let's go, baby. Lakers, baby. Right? Like, we winning. Or does he look at it as like, I just signed my trade certificate? Right? Like, because that's probably how this is going to go. Right? Lakers are going to look for every opportunity, every chance they have. Again, no trade is better than a bad trade. Like, I still stand by. I don't want to see the Lakers just make a move just to make a move. I don't want to see the Lakers make a trade just to make a trade. And there will always be a team that will take a flyer on him because he's young, and they're going to look at the circumstance and be like, it's just the Lakers. And look, if we're being honest, Lakers have never been that team that really just builds, grows out, and develops guys, right? So, teams know that, they're aware of that, they're privy to it. So there's going to be teams that are like, hey, we'll develop him properly. He's exactly what this team needs. Let's take a flyer on him. Let's bring him in. But that doesn't mean that they're going to give you the value that makes sense for the Lakers. Right? That doesn't mean that they're going to view him in a positive light that makes them go, okay, yeah, let's just pony up and give up a bunch of, like, that's where the dilemma lies. That's where the issue is. So if you're the Lakers, I would be looking and being very aggressive right now in trying to move off of a Dalton Knecht. I'd be looking right now like, hey, what options do I have? Right? Even if it is a Matisse Thybulle and a Robert Williams, right? Can you pull off that trade, throw in a Dalton Knecht? Right? I would try to leverage that first. Like, let's say I know Portland will do that. I'm taking the package for Portland and I'm going to Miami one more time and being like, hey, look, last chance for Andrew Wiggins. Do you want to do this? Do you not? Because if not, then we're just going to go do the, I'm just going to go do the Portland trade. And then you can figure out what you want to figure out with Andrew Wiggins, right? Because maybe, maybe you get lucky and Miami goes, all right, like, we want to get off of this contract. We don't want to like be stuck, right? So maybe they end up doing something like that. If not, then I think you just go get a Matisse Thybulle and Robert Williams. I just think Matisse Thybulle and Robert Williams will have a bigger impact on this team, on this roster, than Dalton Knecht will this year, because I don't think Dalton Knecht will see the floor very much, if at all, outside of like garbage time and, if a couple guys get the night off, right? Like if like Rui and LaRavia have the night off, or like Rui and Reeves have the night off, right? Then yeah, Dalton Knecht probably sees the court. Dalton Knecht probably gets a couple minutes here and there, right? But there's also the potential that they just play their other guys more minutes. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Else not, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.